Good afternoon, everybody. It is about 4:32. It's about 4:32 p.m. I try to be pretty timely, so I am not going to belabor the time. So, and just let me start by saying that I am streaming on two different devices because I have two different Facebook pages, and so if I appear to be looking back and forth, it's because I have two phones or two devices in front of me. And so I am going to make this as quick as I possibly can for the simple reason I have been traveling all day. I have not had a morsel of food today. I am I am hungry. Let me just be honest. I'm hungry. So, but I want to get this out because many of you have inquired. You've called, you've inboxed me, you've asked me about the rally tonight. And let me be clear. I want to be very clear and very transparent in everything that I say during this live video. I don't want there to be any question at all about what I'm doing. So let me preface this by saying, not that anyone even asked me this question, but this rally from the very beginning was my baby. It was my idea. It was not something that my parents were necessarily encouraging, supporting. It certainly was not their idea. And anybody who knows my parents knows that is not how they move, right? It's how I move, but it's not how they move. And so from the very beginning, this was not something they wanted me to do. However, as a result of the deception that's been going on and the way that my parents have been bullied, and I use the term bullied very literally. I don't mean in any kind of figurative way. I don't mean it in any kind of hyperbolic sense. I'm not exaggerating in any way. Those of you who know the situation know that my parents have been bullied for the past, 5, 6, 7 years. It's been a whole bullying scheme by the powers that be within the church that I love, which is the Church of God in Christ. I don't want to, let me be clear about this. I did not join in. Okay? And those of you who are COGIC will know exactly what this means. I didn't join in. I was born in it. I was born in. 53 years ago, I was born in it. Now, I know when we sing the song, this is the Church of God in Christ, you can't just join in, you got to be born in. I know what it means to be born in. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to, as you are literally being born, you have to be COGIC. We as COGIC people know what it means. But I'm telling you, literally, from a literal sense, I was born in it. Okay? So there are some things that have happened over the past few years that, yes, have surprised me. There have been some tactics, and I don't use the term tactics in a positive way. There have been some tactics by our leaders that did not sit well with me. As I stated early on when I first started this video, this rally is not something that my parents wanted to go for. And they asked me, they almost pleaded with me to not do it. And so I'm announcing right now that the rally for tonight, the rally for tonight, hear me very clearly. The rally for tonight is postponed. I will not use the term cancellation because I don't want anybody to think that this is something that won't happen. What I will tell you is that it won't happen tonight. So Bishop Bryant, you can go forward with your banquet, with your inaugural banquet. I will also say that I am very disappointed in you, someone who claimed to have been a friend to my father. I don't use the term friend lightly at all. I don't. But it seems like it's a word that you all just throw around. The fact that you referred to my father as your friend, and then you came to the church and did what you did this last Monday night, a week ago tonight. You came and you read that letter, the letter that Bishop Sheard wrote. You knew that that letter was laced in deception. You knew that. And that is why you would not allow my mother, my brother, or me to question you about anything contained in that letter. That is why you made it so clear that you were following your leader's wishes. You were carrying out orders from your leader. So what I would hope is that your leader does not instruct you tonight at the end of your banquet to jump out of your hotel room window. I hope that he would not ask you to do that. Because since you're following his leadership, it's my assumption that you would do whatever he asks you or orders you. I think that's the terminology you used. He will not order you. Hope he won't order you to do that. And that might sound extreme, but what also sounded extreme to me was when you came to the church last Monday night and you read that document, and you knew that document was laced in lies. You knew that when you had that letter read, and that letter stated that my father was on suspension, you knew that my father's suspension was for 2 years only. You knew that. You read that letter some 7 years later, 6 years later, telling the people that my father was still on suspension. You did that. You did that, and I'm going to tell you, as we say in my generation, you were wrong for that. Because you were. And I don't mean that figuratively. Literally, you were wrong for it. But you know what? I don't even think I have to tell you that. As a matter of fact, I know I don't have to tell you that. You know you were wrong for it. But you did it anyway. And so it is out of respect for my parents that I will not come to your event tonight and exercise my First Amendment right. That same First Amendment right, you remember at the meeting Monday night when you said I needed to stand up and pledge to you and pledge to God that I would come to the church only to worship and leave immediately after it's over? That same First Amendment right, I will not exercise tonight. I won't exercise it tonight. I'm going to let you enjoy your event. I'm going to let all your dignitaries come. Now, the general board won't come down here to meet with us. We've been trying to get them to come down here to meet with us. They won't come to Texas to meet with us, but they'll come tonight for the shindig. They'll come for the shindig and probably raise an offering. I don't know. But what I do know is that out of respect for my parents, and anybody who knows me knows that I love my parents, as I would hope everyone does. I have fought for my parents. And when I say my parents, I don't want to separate the two. I don't want you all to think that this is only about my father, because let me be clear. My mother has suffered from this also, right? And when I say suffered, what I mean is what? Y'all know my mom was all the way she worked on the national level in this here church. In this here grand old Church of God in Christ, my mom worked at the national level. So let me break it down for you all in the comments or watching the video who might not know what the national level is. In COGIC, you have your local church, and then you have the district, and then you have the jurisdiction, and then you have the national church. My mother worked at all of those levels, and everybody doesn't have the honor of saying they worked on the national level. So the reason I say this is about my parents is because Mother Barbara McCool Lewis stripped my mother of her responsibilities in the women's department on the national level. Because why? Because my mother supported her husband. Fortunately for me, I don't have a position, and any position that I ever had in the Church of God in Christ, I gladly laid it down. Why? Because I'm not a puppet. I'm not going to do what they tell me to do when I know it's wrong. I'm going to speak out when something is amiss, as it is here. So those of you all who, might not think that the rally was a good idea, it's okay. I don't really honestly, and I don't mean this in any facetious way, and I mean it as humbly as I possibly can say it. I don't care. I don't care what you think. I am literally kicking and screaming because my parents would not allow me to go forth with the rally. I have a very good friend who drove here from Dallas to participate in the rally with me. She had t-shirts made. She bought her bullhorn. She had her sign. She was ready. She was ready. And her name is Jawanda Allen. And she's my sorority sister. She's my friend. She's my sister. She made it clear to y'all that she would not attend the rally unless I said don't attend. So Jawanda, as much as it pains me to tell you that the rally will not go forth tonight, first I have to say I thank you for your support. And she's not the only one. My point in pointing her out is the fact that she literally drove here. She drove here although there were people telling her don't go to the rally. She got on the road. She drove from Dallas to support us. She made it clear the Kyles are not just people I know, they are family. And that's what we consider her also. There are others who have reached out. They wanted the rally to go forward tonight. They wanted to know what time to be there. I spoke with the Royal Sonesta, with the hotel. I spoke with the head of security, and he told me, we own the property right off the freeway where it says Royal Sonesta all the way down to the palm tree. We were ready to stand right on the other end of that palm tree and in the back of the hotel. Yeah, I received phone calls from people saying, would you please not do the rally tonight? Would you please just let them have this event? Why? When I say this church, and when I say this church, I mean the leadership. And when I say the leadership, I'm talking about from the top. Bishop Drew Sheard and others. I'm not going to name the rest of y'all, but y'all know I can call names. Y'all know I can call names. But I'm just going to start with the very top, with Bishop Drew Sheard. Bishop Sheard, you knew that letter was bogus when you sent it. And this might be repetitive for anybody who already heard or saw King Jive show. The reason I can say with all certainty that you knew your letter was bogus when you wrote it and you said Bishop Kyles was on suspension was because you came here and you wrote another letter, a letter that you didn't address in the letter you wrote last week. You wrote a letter and you said in that letter, I cannot participate in any activities going on here at Evangelist Temple because Bishop Kyles is the legal pastor. That's what you said. That's what you said. You've seen the rulings from the Judiciary Board. You've seen those rulings. And the only reason I'm doing this on this live right now is because my parents won't let me come to the Royal Sonesta with my bullhorn and scream it in your ear. I'm not backing down. And I don't want you to think for 1 second that I'm backing. Yes, I'm kicking and screaming right now. I was almost to the point of being angry. But I'm not angry because, again, I'm doing this for my parents. So if anybody's going to get the glory, because I know y'all been praying, Lord, please let something happen. Lord, please don't let her come tonight. Okay, let's say the Lord answered your prayers. And I'm going to tell you who else answered your prayers. And that was Bishop Kyles, the man you, Bishop Sheard, and your father have literally tried to kill. I'm talking about kill like dead kill. That's what you all have tried to do. And are still trying to do. And if there's a lie, I want you to show me where it is. Other than in the letter that you wrote. Other than the documentations other than in Chairman Michael Eady's letter. Tell me where my lie is. Because you know I'm coming, and I'm coming with receipts. I have my receipts. I wouldn't be on this live if I didn't. Y'all not getting me for defamation of character. You won't ever get me for slander or libel, because if I say it, I can back it up. I can prove it. I have the documentation to back up exactly what I'm saying. And you know I do. You know I do. The only reason I haven't brought out or discussed the rumors about you publicly is because I don't have any proof. Is it because it didn't happen? Is it because what people accuse you of didn't happen? I don't know. What I can say is I don't have any proof of it. But what I can also say is that I feel pretty safe in saying that your closet is not clean. I'm pretty sure it's not. It's not. And so the fact that you, as a leader, and the reason it pains me so to say this to you, Bishop Sheard, is because I had so much respect for you. I promoted you when people said I shouldn't. I posted you on Facebook and I said, the next presiding bishop of the Church of God in Christ. I can go back and pull it up because people were like, who are you to say that? Hopefully he's not. But I supported you. Why? Because even though your father did my daddy dirty, even though your father did my daddy dirty, I don't know if you made some kind of deathbed declaration to him that you would carry out his wishes to not stop until you kill cows. I don't know what you did. But what I know is, at some point, you are going to have to deal internally with what's going on, if you're not already. If you're not already. Because I always thought that you were a man of integrity. That's what I always thought. But what you have shown me is that you easily jumped ship. You jumped ship quickly. Once you got that position, and once you had the luxury of writing presiding bishop and chief apostle under your name, you acted a whole clown. You jumped right on the bandwagon with the rest of them, your counterparts, your brothers. So what I would suggest that you do, is sometime in the very, very near future, plan a reconciliation service, plan a restoration service, and include my father in it and others who have been harmed by this church, because it's not just my dad. That's who I'm speaking on right now, though, and my mother. Now, as for me and my house, and that's where I am right now, I'm in my house. As for me and my house, we're going to serve the Lord, but we don't need or want a position in this grand old church. I don't need a position. As long as I have a position of being a child of God, I'm good. My mom tried to make me an aspiring missionary. Nope, not my calling. I don't want to do that. I want to do what I'm doing right now. Because y'all won't get to take my credential card. The credential card what do you get? Free parking at the hospital? I don't need a credential card to speak. And you might have muted me, Bishop Bryant. You might have muted me Monday night, but you won't get a chance to mute me going forward. You cannot mute me right now. So I'm going to let you have your little banquet. And I hope that it's a grand occasion. I do. I hope that it's wonderful and grand. And I hope that tonight you can sleep peacefully. That, I mean facetiously. I hope that you don't get any sleep tonight. Bishop Sheard, I hope you don't get any sleep. And Bishop Brandon Porter, you already know. You already know that I just hope you don't sleep at all, not ever. I just hope you just walk around with your eyes like this from here on out, like that. I hope you never get any sleep. Because your reputation far preceded anything else that we can talk about on this live. And you started this mess when you first came to Houston. You started this mess when you first came to Houston. Just like you started the mess at the convocation when you gave that boy that microphone. You started that. And just like in that situation, you threw the rock and hid your hand. That seems to be the MO around here. We're just going to throw the rock and hide. I'm throwing the rocks, okay? I'm throwing rocks right now, and here are my hands, right? I'm throwing rocks. I'm not hiding my hand. I just wish that there were men in this church who would speak up. Why am I doing this right now by myself? Somebody got to do it. Somebody has to speak truth. Because you all, I don't like to use the term lie. And that was instilled in me as a little girl. I don't like to use the term lie. But you all have lied. You have allowed deceit to go on. You have conspired. That's a legal term, I hope you know, and I hope y'all look up the definition for conspiracy. You all have conspired. You have gone over and beyond. And I know that by now, you all thought and hoped my dad would have been dead by now. But guess what? Even if that did happen, you ain't seen the wrath of me like you gonna see it if that happens. You have not even seen my wrath. I'm not angry. I'm not out of character. I'm not ungodly. But what I'm doing is calling the devil out like I was raised to do. I was raised to call the devil out. You all have allowed the enemy to use you. That's what you've done. You've allowed the enemy to use you. Where's the lie? Where is the lie? And so you get in your little brotherhood meetings, get in your little bishop chambers. You can say what you want to say, but know that you will see me again. The rally for tonight, again, everybody, I apologize. I'm kicking and screaming. I don't want this to be the case. But the rally tonight is postponed. But stay tuned. Stay tuned, because there will be another one. Well, there will be the first one, should I say. I am only doing this, again, like I said before. If you want to give somebody praise for this, don't pat me on the back. Don't say, ooh, Isidra, thank you so much for not doing it. Don't say that to me, because Isidra still wants to do it. And not carnal Isidra. Spiritual Isidra wants to be out there with her bullhorn right now off 610. The spiritual me wants to do that. But my parents prayed together, and they came to the conclusion that they would ask me again. And they asked very vehemently. They pleaded with me not to do this, because they want their friend. They want their friend's banquet to go forth without a hitch. They want it to be a peaceful night. So I'm going to let you all have your peaceful night tonight. But it's only going to be so peaceful. Because when you lay down tonight, when you lie down in your bed, I hope you hear my voice. I hope you hear my voice. Because I know y'all, somebody's going to send this to you. Whether or not you're watching it right now, somebody will send it to you. There are a lot of cowards out there who screenshot the stuff that I post. They screenshot it and then they send it, and I know that they send it because then we get phone calls. I'm like, well, how did that person know? That person didn't even like it or react to it or comment on it. Oh, but they saw it and they screenshot it. And so that's my announcement. Again, I'm not really, I really don't care about those of you who didn't want me to have the rally anyway. I really don't care about what you think. I don't care. I care about my parents. I care about my parents and their well-being. And I want them to be okay. So while you all try to kill them, I want them to be okay. It's my job to take care of them against people like you. When I say people like you, I want to be clear in who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the leadership. See, other people get in these little private groups on Facebook and other social media forums. They get in these little private groups and they talk about y'all. Ask me how I know, because I was in one of them before. But I don't need a private group. I'm me. I'm Isidra. I'm going to tell you the truth. Period. Point blank. End of discussion. I'm going to tell the truth. You all can lie. In your leadership positions, you all can lie. But me, this little lay member, I'm going to tell you the whole truth. And nothing but the truth. So help me, God. So I hope that I've been clear. If anybody asks any questions, has any questions, you can ask me via my inbox. You can call me at 832-899-4LAW. If I feel like answering the phone, I will. Right now, though, I'm still kicking and screaming on the inside. I appreciate your prayers, Trilla. Thank you. I'm kicking and screaming on the inside. Because this is not where I want to be, this being home. This is not where I want to be right now. I want to be headed to 610 and West Loop, whatever that is, where the Royal Celeste is. Trust GPS was going to get me there. I know exactly where it is anyway. So right now, I am going to have my dinner, since I have not had breakfast or lunch. Again, if anybody has any questions, you can ask me, or you can Google what you want to know. But after you Google, still ask me, because Google is not going to tell you the truth. Don't call Bishop Sheard's office. You're not going to get the truth. Whatever you do, don't call Brandon Porter's office. You certainly are not going to get the truth. If you want to hear the truth, call me. 832-899-4LAW. You want to email me, attorneykyles@yahoo.com or attorney1913@gmail.com. I am easily accessible. I answer my phone. My phone goes on Do Not Disturb at 9:30 p.m. every night because I don't want to hear that foolishness. So if you want to reach me, feel free to reach out. That is all I have to say. Those of you who are going to the banquet, I hope you have a wonderful night. Not mad at everybody. Not mad at anybody. I love the people, especially the people from Houston. I love y'all and y'all know it. I grew up in this church. So I do hope you all have a wonderful time. Bishop Bryant, I hope you enjoy your banquet. But again, when it's over, I hope that when your head hits the pillow tonight, your eyes remain open. You can't sleep. That is all I have to say. I love you all with the love of the Lord. Peace and love. Have a good day. Bye.